Who is England's 11? And how is Thomas Tuchel actually going to put an attacking force together, considering they have so much talent?
Well, at the moment, nobody really has an idea. What do we know? There are some players who are going to start. Pickford is going to start for sure. McGay is going to start for sure. Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice, these players are going to start. Harry Kane is going to Bukayo Saka. They are going to start. Allegri's system is not different from what Christian Kivu and Inter Milan do play. They are all playing the 3-5-2. And so the game became a man marking game.
I have one question for you. Is the title won already for us now?
Not yet, but they when you are 6 points away, it's only 2 defeats. So, and the season is still quite long. But with the teams behind them and the teams not finding regularity, Arsenal just need to pack up more points within this period.
Eze scored a hat-trick, and that is huge. My God, that is huge. Man City lost to Newcastle United by 2-1. But of course, the St. James's Park is always a difficult ground. But even yet still, you'd have expected Man City to do a lot better than they did.
Liverpool lack energy. They lack sharpness. When I say sharpness, I mean they are not quick around the pitch.
Not quiet on the pitch.
Wait. Who?
You tell me.
Iceland, Euro 2016. 37 years. Played in the Premier League, also La Liga. Chelsea's Edaku Johnson. The volcano took my mind to Iceland.
Listen, I screamed. I literally just screamed.
Welcome to Footy Center podcast series. Welcome to Footy Center podcast series.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
Welcome to FC Pitchside podcast with me, Theo Nyan, and of course, I'm here with the OG. This is, co-founder, and so that is Philip Situ Trim. I'm sure you already heard the voice. Situ, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, bro. How are you?
Fantastic. It's a good sporting weekend, a good footballing weekend, and so we'll dig deep and dig very direct into it. Remember, if you're watching us on YouTube, please, we ask for only one thing: subscribe. And the only way you can support us is actually doing something very free, like and leave a comment if you can. And of course, on Apple Podcast and Spotify as well, leave your comments. Talk about comments though. Some comments came through. This one from Alava. He says, I have 4 issues for Mr. Thierry and his crew. 1, the show should be at least 2 episodes in a week, midweek and weekends.
We are working on that. We are working on it.
Truth is, we are working on it. We are looking to find a good time. We understand why you're saying that because the show is so packed, it's longer. If we split it, we can do more issues and dissect the midweek, especially because of the Champions League coming up. So we definitely understand. What's the second issue? Second issue says this one is a compliment. This is the only football show with quiz competition, which makes it interesting. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Third one, he says Lookman has lost his confidence since the fight he had with Gasperini, and also the fall of his movement has affected him big time. I think it was when we were discussing Nigeria and Ademola Lookman and how he hasn't exactly helped. But that's a great observation anyway. He also says that when will the subscribers have a live quiz section as well? Well, that is going to be difficult. It means that we have to do a YouTube live. And there's no way I can actually check if a listener is actually cheating or not. If not, at the end of every episode, I'll ask you a question and see who answers it correctly in the comments. But with the internet and ChatGPT, you never know who is asking, who is cheating, and all that. It's going to be difficult, but we'll find a way. We'll find a way as always. Anyway, this one from the Crocodile says, shockingly, I was thinking of Dim Baba In what conversation was that? Sometimes I wish you guys added a bit
I
of
think
context. 'Cause
I think he was talking about Wear Jesse.
so maybe when
So
you mentioned Roman Pavlyuchenko, he was thinking Dembaba.
yeah, I
Maybe,
think
maybe.
something.
But yeah, but he also added his team of the season so far.
Okay,
His team.
what
And
is
he
he saying?
says that he went with Raya, he went with Timber. We all
Good
chose
shout.
them. He chose Senesi. I went to Senesi and he chose
Senesi, yeah.
Senesi. I'm happy about
Good
that.
shout. Good shout.
Big shouts to you. Yeah, and then he also mentions Gabriel, Nico
Gabriel, yeah.
Riley,
Yeah. That's a good shout.
Rice, Moises Caicedo. He says Semenyo,
Okay.
Haaland,
Right.
Soboslai, and Jeremy Doku.
Good shout.
So, and
That's
I think it's a really, really good shout.
yeah.
I disagree only with the O'Reilly. I think O'Reilly has been good in the last 4 or 5 games when he was shifted to left back. But I think it would be unfair if you compare him to people who have played there the entire season thus far. If you're looking for the best left back,
I think it's
but he's
Kukurea,
made
to be honest. Yeah.
yeah, I genuinely feel it's Cucurella. And he puts Soboslai in midfield. I also chose Soboslai, to be fair. Semenyo, I think we debated on it a bit. We went with Imbumo because Imbumo has been really consistent for Man United the entire
Yeah.
season. But if not, this is a very similar lineup to what we went with. Oh, he also added Jeremy Doku. But Doku has been good, exceptional in one game, but good the entire season. And,
Mhm.
well, I've forgotten who we went with. Maybe Saka. Maybe we went with Saka. And across the season, it's debatable. But anyway, this one
Yeah.
from Messi says that finally been checking my phone while working the whole day. I'm sure that was when the episode was made live on YouTube. So that's a number of messages coming through. As always, please join these guys and we will give you a shout as well. Make sure that we address any questions or mention your contributions to our conversations here on this particular show. So usually at this point, I'll be asking Sicho what your weekend has been so far. What have you been up to?
Well, it's been sporty. I attended
Being sporty.
yeah. I attended also yesterday. I attended the naming ceremony of a friend. Had a baby, so
Right.
a friend's baby.
One thing I like about you. Anytime I ask what you've been up to, it's always something social. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. I like
yeah,
I like
yeah,
I like that you have a social life. It's
yeah,
either a
yeah.
funeral or
It's
a
been a
naming
wedding, a
ceremony
naming
or
ceremony, a
a
party.
wedding or
So,
yeah, or
so
you
I
are
went
with your dad or with the family. I like
absolutely.
that. I really like
There's
that.
that.
I really like
So
that.
we
You
went for
need you
the
need that work social life balance.
balance,
It's very
balance.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I make
It's
few friends,
extremely
but I try
important.
to keep my friends for almost forever. So I went for the naming
Right.
ceremony. Then I did a lot of football. Naming ceremony was in the morning. I did a lot of football in the day. Of course, there were so many matches. Then a
Of
friend
course.
was having a birthday party, which was in the evening. So we went there. The
Yeah.
screen was outside. We're seeing the game while we were having, boys having our fun, playing games, playing snooker,
Yeah.
playing,
Yeah.
So it was a massive Saturday. Then Sunday, of course, church and football, football, football. And I've got visitors in the
Love that.
house. My wife's brother, the wife, and the kids
Hmm.
came to visit. So I just excused myself to record the pod. Yeah. So yeah, it's been
Absolutely.
lovely. It's
We
been
won't
lovely.
waste too much of your time. So we'll get straight into it. But before we actually start the conversations, remember that we introduced a game a couple of weeks ago. It's called the Wear the Shirt game, where I I have four clues in front of me right now. I'm
Mhm.
going to split the clues into four different times. So when I give each clue, Sicho has one attempt to give me an answer. Sicho, are you ready for today's Wear the
Yeah, I'm
Shirt?
ready. I've won the
First,
first two episodes of the quiz.
you've
So
won the first two. You've won the first two. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fantastic. You won the
All
first
of
two.
them on
Today
the
is you
third
against
clue.
me.
I hope I'm able to win it on the first or
Yeah.
second clue this day.
I hope not. I hope not. But this is the first clue. This is the first clue. This
Okay.
player starred for a Premier League team in the early 2000s. He made his debut for his national team at age 17, but couldn't help them to any international success until he was 37, where he led them to the Euros 2016 or the Euro 16, which was a good 16 years after his breakthrough. It's a lot of numbers.
Take
But
it
the
again.
key
Take it
things
again.
here.
Take it again. Take it again.
Okay. So he started for a Premier League team in the early 2000s.
Okay.
He made his debut for his national team at age 17.
Okay.
But he couldn't do anything significant with them until he was 37 years, almost retirement. when he led them to Euro 2016? First clue.
What do you? We said he couldn't do anything with his national team until he led them to
Yeah,
Euro.
they literally did nothing between when he actually made his debut and Euro 2016 until Euro 2016.
At that time,
And
he
when he
was,
did, it became international story that they had actually qualified for Euro 2016.
and at that time, he was 37 years.
Yes, and at the time it was 37 years. If you get this, it's magic, pure magic. But the first clue is always supposed to throw you off. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have it. We'll move on
Okay,
and we'll start.
let's move on.
We'll start with the chit chat. And today, I think it's a straightforward question. We'll spend just about 5 minutes on it. Who is England's 11, and how is Thomas Tuchel actually going to put an attacking force together, considering they have so much talent? And the reason we are having this conversation is because we just came off the international break and we saw, a lot of the teams qualify. Shout outs to Ireland, to Scotland, for making it to the World Cup for the first time in so many years. But let's look at the attacking talents that England have, Sicho, because I'm saying this because Tuchel at a point said he doesn't know how he's going to fit some of them together. And these are all superstars. Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, and Morgan Rogers are all competing for the number 10 slot or the number 10 spot. On the left wing, it looks like it's a straight fight between Anthony Gordon and Marcus Rashford and Eberechi Eze. So that is three strong, candidates for the left wing. For the right wing, it looks like it's going to be a straight fight between the Arsenal boys, Saka and Noni Madueke. Unless he decides to push Cole Palmer there, but we all know he's a natural number 10. So again, it's all part of how he's going to fit all of these together. And then in attack, or in the number 9 spot, he has Harry Kane, who currently is one of the top 3 best strikers in the world. Behind him, they have players like Oli Watkins, but the passing that has been touted for a long-term replacement for Harry Kane looked to be Liam Delap. But this season, he's not having a good season. I don't even think he's going to make the World Cup. But it all adds up to the numbers that Tuchel has to deal with in attack and how he's going to fit all these guys together. Because whether you like it or not, some of them are going to be on the bench. But who is going to be starting for England at the World Cup? Do you have an idea?
Well, at the moment, nobody really has an idea. What do we know? There are some players who are going to start. Pickford is going to start for sure. Maguire is going to start for sure. Elliot Anderson, Declan Rice, these players are going to start. Harry Kane is going to. Bukayo Saka, they are going to start.
Right.
Sure. The rest of the positions.
I also think on the right wing, I think he prefers Rhys James to Alexander Arnold. To be fair, he's worked with James before at Chelsea.
Right back, yeah, the right back,
and I think he trusts him more than Arnold, and especially because he also likes a defensive solidity.
Yeah,
And
the
Rhys
reason
provides that.
the reason I don't mention him is because I don't trust his fitness. But when he's fit, he'll be there.
Right.
When he's fit,
Right,
absolutely he'll
right.
be there. And that's not to say that other players can get injured, but they are most often available than not. But credit to Maresca, he's
Right.
kept Rhys James at his
He's
fittest.
managed him really well.
Really
Yeah.
well at his
He's
fittest that
managed
I've
him
seen it.
really
So
well. Yeah.
he's likely to be, and if he's
Yeah.
fit for sure, I think
His
he
whole
has,
career, this is the fittest he's been.
I think so.
Right.
So if he's fit, I think he has that right back position locked down for him, Rhys James. So this player's casting stone, they're likely to start. Now he has to find that other pieces in the jigsaw to make the team thick. And I want him to Tuchel, and it helps that Tuchel is not English. So he doesn't
Right.
care about all the English noise. He wants to come in as German and do
Yeah.
his job and get out, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
England have tried and tried and tried, have not won anything. And he's coming in to say, okay, let's do it my way, maybe we'll win. And so I like him because he's honest and he's frank, and it's German, very German of him, to come in and tell everybody that he doesn't think or he doesn't see Harry Kane, Foden, Bellingham all playing in the starting 11 of his team. Straight away,
Right.
what he's trying to say is Kane is his captain. We know he will start. But now
Of
Foden,
course.
Bellingham, they both of them can start alongside Harry Kane. So I like it because
Right.
what he's trying to build is a functional team. So then who starts?
Balanced team.
Yes, what he's trying to do. And when you watch England play, even in their qualifiers, they are not all attacking, all defensive. They are just a balanced team. They defend well, they attack well. The midfield is solid, the defense is solid, the attack is very functional. So I think that's what he's looking for. But there are smart ways to pick a squad. I think that on the right hand side of the wing, he has done a lot more of Saka and Gerard Bowen
Mhm.
in the last window.
Bowen as
That is
well.
also
Actually, I
because
forgot about
Madueke.
Bowen. Bowen as
That's
well.
also because
Yeah.
Madueke was out. But when he played
Right.
Madueke in England and gave Madueke
Yeah.
the call up, Madueke played most often on the left because at that
Right.
time
Okay.
Enzo Maresca was also playing Madueke on the left at Chelsea.
On the
Remember,
left. Yes.
Neto will play the
Yes.
Madueke.
Yes.
So
Towards the end of
Madueke
last
has
season. Yeah.
good. So Madueke has shown that he is versatile. He can play on both wings. But now Ateta
Right.
uses him on the right wing. So I think that again, one player who can play dual roles in the team is Cole
Mm.
Palmer. He can play as a number
Right.
10. He can also play
Mhm.
off the right wing. So
Right.
I'm dropping Gerard Bowen and I'm going
Right.
with Cole Palmer as a right winger or right forward, stroke and number 10 need be.
In number 10.
Need be.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Then the number 10 positions, he loves Morgan Rogers, because off
Yeah.
the ball,
He
he's
absolutely
physical, he's
loves
a
him.
bulldozer,
Yeah. He
he
puts
works hard,
pressure.
that puts
He knows
pressure
how to attack. Yeah.
and all of that. But between now and the World Cup is a long time. So I'm saying Foden, Bellingham, Morgan Rogers, these three players, whoever is in form,
Mm.
you can pick one of those players, right? And so the wingers, you have four wingers. The four wingers will be Rashford, Anthony Gordon on the left,
On the left side. Hmm.
Madueke and Saka on the right,
Okay.
stroke Cole Palmer because he
Right.
can do a job. Meanwhile,
Right.
Madueke is also stroke Rashford and Gordon because he
Anthony
can also
Gordon
play on that side.
on the left.
Then the number
Yeah.
10 row,
Yeah.
you've got Rogers, you've got Foden, you've got Cole Palmer because he can play both sides, and you've got Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
Also, don't
Yeah.
forget that there are games you can even play Declan Rice as your number 6 if need be, play Jude Bellingham as your number 8 if need be, play Cole Palmer as your number 10. Because there are some games England will see a lot of the ball, or there are some games he can change the team and go a little bit offensive because he needs the goal. So I think most of these players are going to go, but they then have to accept that they might not be starting in the team. So Foden, Bellingham, Cole Palmer, Morgan Rogers, whoever has a great 2026 into the World Cup, I think takes that number
Mm.
10 position. I think he likes
And
Rashford.
right.
I think he likes Rashford, so Rashford will play on that side unless Gordon is performing magically well, and Rashford is doing well for Barca. So I think Rashford will play there. Otherwise,
But
it's a solid team.
the issue with Rashford though is once Rafinha comes back into the Barcelona setup, it's going to be his minutes are going to be reduced. To be fair, because if Yamal stays fit, he starts. Rafinha and Rashford are not central players. And so what it means is that Barca are going to be relying on Pedri. They are going to rely on Fermin Lopez. On the left side, it looks like it's going to be a straight fight between Rashford and Rafinha because Lewandowski and what's the other guy's name?
Ferran
The other
Torres.
striker, Ferran Torres,
Yeah.
are the number nines, recognized number nines in that
I,
team.
I
So
also
I
think
also
Tuchel.
feel that
I
it
also
would
think
depend on how Rashford fares in Spain.
Yeah, I also think Tuchel likes Rashford only not down the right, down the left, but also likes him down the middle because there are times when he's played him down the middle, especially when he brought him to the England team first and Harry Kane wasn't fit. When he brought him back to
Right.
the England team and Harry Kane wasn't fit, he played him down the middle. So Rashford could be another player who goes into the tournament, who
Yes,
can offer
yeah.
him
So
both
so so
options.
I the way I see it
Because
there though
Watkins is not
is
playing
not that
well.
he likes yes, not that he likes him there, but he became useful in the absence of Kane and any other good typical deputy number nine. Rashford obviously has played number nine a number of times among the players
Will
we've
he take will he
mentioned,
take Danny
and
Welbeck? Will he take Danny Welbeck to the World Cup though?
I think he should. And the reason I'm saying I think he should is because I think Welbeck is ripe for it. He has a right experience. He is peaking at the right time. He's scoring goals. He's full of confidence. Players like that will not necessarily, obviously, go there knowing that they are starters, but they know that they you can count on them when you bring them
Yeah,
on. And Rashford, Dan Welbeck has become a fox in the box
yeah,
in his career now. And I feel that, age and experience teaches a lot of positioning. It teaches you how to reserve your energy in the right times. When games are tough and you want two attackers or two number nines, I think
yeah,
Dan Welbeck could be a better option than Rashford. Although don't get me wrong, Rashford is a
yeah, yeah,
brilliant player. And I, I
yeah,
also
yeah.
I also feel I also feel he prefers Anthony Gordon to Rashford because Anthony Gordon, remember from his Newcastle experience that he's built up, is a very, very, very high pressure player. He is always off the ball, running at defenders and hashing them into mistakes.
Unfortunately,
Not that,
he's not playing well, and now Anthony Gordon is almost
yeah.
losing his position to Harvey Barnes in Newcastle.
Harvey
And Harvey
Barnes, even
Barnes
in
is
Newcastle.
English. Harvey Barnes is English.
Yeah,
You wonder if
yeah.
even Harvey Barnes now, Tuchel will be thinking about if Harvey Barnes could be the
I
one.
think it'll be too late for Barnes, to be fair. I think it'll be too late because some of these
Well,
guys have already made unless some of the names we are mentioning drop form, like if Phil Foden for some reason becomes the Phil Foden we knew last year, then Tuchel being a very hard man might consider someone who is new and can offer him something in a 3-week tournament than a superstar name who is not going to give you anything.
yeah.
But and again, it also is going to depend on Cole Palmer's fitness and when he comes up because he's been out for long now. We don't know the version of Cole Palmer that comes back,
Oh,
so
you come and play.
that is also going to be.
Kopama doesn't need, that guy is a baller. Whenever he's fit, he will play. He's a
Well,
super
that's true.
footballer.
Well, that's true.
Super
Some
footballer.
players don't need
Yeah,
a lot of coaching.
yeah,
They don't need a lot of
yeah. That guy
time on
is
the training
magical.
pitch. Yeah, he's and you know the thing about I like about Cole Palmer, he's not the typical guy that is rushing at defenders. He
No,
on the
no,
ball, he even looks like
no.
he's slowing down the game,
Yeah.
and then he just does something magical. And sometimes that's all you need from a player. Anyway, um, let me just start with the first conversation of the day. It's a game that just ended, actually. Remember, we're recording this on Sunday. And as we speak, Milan have beaten Inter by 1-0. And that was a derby della Madonnina. And as it happened, it was Christian Pulisic on the counter-attack that helped Milan to that particular one. But also a penalty save in that game held Milan to a 1-0 win. And the Rossoneri are happy, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And deservedly so. I thought it was a very good game. I saw the entire game. It was cagey because, as you would expect, Allegri's system is not different from what Christian Kivu and Inter Milan do play. They all play the 3-5-2, and
Right,
so the game became a man marking game. So whatever zone
right.
of the game or the ball was, players were marking each other and zoning each themselves out until that counter attack and fast break from Milan, where Christian Pulisic got them the goal. I thought Mike Mignan was also good on the day. Had a very good save from Thuram header early on, then saved from Kahanoglu's penalty from the spot. Kahanoglu barely misses. But Allegri has built a very formidable Milan side because when you look at their midfield, it's good enough to beat every team in Italy. You know, Fofana is
Mhm.
brilliant. Modric is, you know him. I don't need to describe, explain anything he does on the
Right,
pitch.
right.
Adrian Rabiot brings to the industry experience, physicality, and the ability to box, right? So their midfield is very dynamic and they complement each other really well. Then you've got two players up top who are not strikers, but very confusing for defenders because you keep stretching the play and interchanging in Pulisic and Rafael Leao. So you have Rafael Leao on your centre back in 1 minute. The next second he's on your wide centre back. It's all over the place. It's confusing for defenders to pick his runs because he's a free role player who is a winger but now playing down the middle. It can be confusing for defenders to deal with. And what Milan do is at the back they're just solid. And Allegri is building a very super team. It takes them to second place, some 2 points behind Gasperini's AS Roma. So yeah, it was a good game. The Serie A table is still very tight at the very top. Inter Milan's problem this season, though, has been when they play the big games, they've not been able to win these big games. For AC Milan's
Yeah.
problems, they've won these big games. They've been Napoli. They should have beaten Inter. They should have beaten Juventus, but Pulisic missed the penalty, so they didn't win that game.
Right.
But they also failed to beat some of the small teams, the Pisa and these teams who are even languishing in the relegation battle. So if they can find some consistency, then Allegri can turn the corner for Milan and maybe make them Scudetto champions. Let's not forget, Milan are not playing in Champions League. They can only focus on the league this season.
As it is. Now let's move on straight to the Premier League because a lot of fireworks happening. Some big boys falling off and others also continuing to win. Let's start with the big one of the weekend, and that's Arsenal against Spurs. And at the Emirates, Arsenal proved why they are the favorite for this season. I have one question for you. Is the title won already for Arsenal?
Not yet, but they when you are 6 points away, it's only 2 defeats. So and the season is still quite long. But with the teams behind them and the teams not finding regularity, Arsenal
Right.
just need to pack up more points within this period because none of the teams behind them really has shown that they've got the consistency in them to maybe catch up with the Gunners. So if Arsenal can do this some 4 weeks more, win all the games that they've got and hoping the team beneath them drop some points. If they have about a
Mhm.
9 points, 7 points, 9 points cushion, I think they can be looking at, solidifying their status at the very top. But at the moment, they'll still be looking behind their backs a little bit more.
Yeah, and so that is it. But Eze scored a hat trick, and
Brilliant.
that is huge. My God, that is huge. I didn't see that coming. I didn't expect that at all. I thought he was phenomenal on the day,
His
not
story is
just because of the
beautiful.
goals.
His story is beautiful.
Yeah,
He started
yeah,
football. He went to the Arsenal Academy as an Arsenal fan. He was
exactly,
rejected by the
exactly.
academy. He didn't give up, went to Crystal Palace. At the age of 27, he's signed by his boyhood club. He's coming at the time where the team is playing well, scored a hat trick against Spurs, a club he would hate because he's an Arsenal fan. And Arsenal are in the
And a
time where
club
it
he
looks
almost
like,
joined, and a club he almost joined in the
yeah,
summer.
Clive he almost joined.
They
In fact,
were,
he chose
yeah,
Arsenal over them
yeah. He
because, of
was
course, an
hours
Arsenal
away
fan.
from joining Spurs, and he
Absolutely.
scores a hat trick against them. That is a
Against them.
beautiful
It's a
story.
beautiful story. And he could end up winning the Premier League title, the first in his career for
Oh my
Arsenal
God,
at the time he joined.
what
So
a career that would be.
it's an inspirational story that he's got there, Eze.
Yeah, yeah. But what all it also means with this result is that Arsenal have conceded twice in a row, two against Sunderland before the international break, and they have conceded yet again against Spurs. But this was actually special.
You're
The goal that
happy.
Richarlison scored.
You're happy
Yeah, I'm
because
happy.
the Chelsea
I'm
record
happy.
won't
I'm
be, the
happy.
Chelsea record looks like
Yeah.
it won't be broken.
I mean, to be fair though, I think any team that the only team that I feel can actually do it is a team managed by Sean Dyche that decides that decides I'm not going to concede and I'm not going to score a goal. I want to go back to championship
Yeah.
with a bang. But anyway, talking about Arsenal looking over their shoulders, the teams that were supposed to be right there behind them are falling off. Liverpool and Manchester City. Let's start with Man City. I think Liverpool are a special case. We'll give them more time. Man City lost to Newcastle United by 2 goals to 1. But of course, the St. James's Park is always a difficult ground. But even yet, still, you'd have expected Man City to do a lot better than they did.
Yeah. Look, City this season are not playing their regular Pep Guardiola tiki taka control football. And it suits Newcastle, especially when they play at the St. James's Park. They love chaos. Because
Right.
when you control the ball and you take the pace out of the game, St.
Hmm.
James's Park doesn't necessarily respond to that. They need a bit more of aggression, fast-paced football, players run after each
Right.
other, chasing and closing down things. And that is how City have played this. City are trying to play sometimes more chaotic football. And that fell straight into the hands of Newcastle. But credit to Eddie Howe because I thought on the day he went with players who were informed that players that have the name and the pedigree. Harvey Barnes started the game and he was good for them. He scored twice. He started Murphy, even though Elanga was brought in the summer and looked like the player who had that position nailed on. But Murphy has shown that he's got form. And in the middle of the park, we know how Newcastle like to work. They like to work hard, they graft. And anytime City had the ball, they were there to pounce. On the second balls, they were quick on getting onto the second balls. And City just couldn't cope with the chaotic nature of the game because that suited Newcastle more. Their fans responded to it more. And once they wanted to get the game under control, the game was already gone.
Did I lose you, Joe? Okay, you're back.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Right. So yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you now.
Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you. So what this means? I would run by us what the state what the standings look like as it is. But just behind Arsenal though, is Chelsea, who also won their game, and they were the first kickoff match after the international break in the Premier League. It was at the Turf Moor, beating Burnley by 2 goals to 0, and it's Pedro Neto and Enzo Fernandez late in that one that got the goals for Enzo Maresca's side. Slow but sure, nobody's really considering them, favorites or better still candidates. But they are doing the job. And when I look back at Chelsea's season and the games they faltered, they are all games that they could have won. If not for their own, mistakes. Away at Man United, an early red card. Nobody knows how that game would have gone, because at the time United had not found this kind of form. Against Brighton at home, they were already winning. Another red card shut them down. Against Sunderland, they were winning, and then late mistakes got Sunderland back into the game and eventually winning it. And then I think at Brentford they were winning, and then almost the last, action in the game was a throwing that also got Brentford a point. It looks like the youthfulness of this Chelsea side is what is costing them, but they are still finding a way, because it's, again, the table doesn't lie, and that's my analysis of it. The table doesn't lie. I mean, you can say anything you want to say about them, but there's a reason they are where they are, and there's a reason others are where they are. Although I still don't think that they will compete for the title or stand a chance against Arsenal on a longer term marathon. I don't know what you think, Sicho.
No, you want to take it a game at a time. Just don't want to invite pressure onto themselves. Last season, they were in a similar position where if they won a game, they were going to go top of the Premier League, and that is where they started, falling off the cliff. And that comes with experience. The expectation can be huge. The pressure from that point can be huge. But after last
Right.
season, you're thinking maybe this team has grown a bit more. Enzo Maresca would have learned his lessons a little bit more. But I just look at the Chelsea squad all around. I didn't think they have enough in the team to compete till the end of the season, maybe go on and challenge Arsenal. They don't have a striker they can trust so much. The defense
Mhm.
still has question marks all over it. The wide players are not necessarily consistent, especially when Gittins or Garnacho play. They show glimpses of flashes, but you need a certain level of consistency. So yeah, I think that is where Chelsea are lacking. Sanchez is decent, but is he a goalkeeper you think can really, lead the back line to win the title and championship? But of course, they'll take it a game at a time, and when the opportunity comes, so they can grab it, they will.
Right, right. But let's talk about Liverpool then, because oh my God, what a disaster! What a disaster! But before we do Liverpool, let me give you the second clue. Let me give you the second clue of the where the
Yeah,
shirt game.
yeah.
I've already given you the first one. The second one
Mm.
says this player didn't shine in the Premier League.
Uh,
Oh no, no,
that's
no.
right.
This player didn't just shine. Just
Okay, okay.
he didn't only shine in the Premier League. He did so in the La Liga as well, where he was nicknamed the Blonde Maradona. Who is he? Any guesses?
The blonde Maradona.
Yeah.
The blonde Maradona. What the hell is this guy? The
Remember,
blonde.
I already gave you the first
Yeah,
clue,
you
and the
did.
first
Yeah.
clue, if you
Euro
read, if you read
2016.
meanings, if you read deep into the first clue, it tells you he's not from any of the mainstream top
Countries. Yeah,
countries.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but he's European because he
yeah.
qualified for Euro 2016.
Yeah,
Second
yeah,
clue is saying that he played in the Premier League. He
yeah.
was a superstar, well, not a superstar, but he was a big star there. He went to the La Liga as well, and he was a star there, playing for one of the top clubs there. But
At
he
the age
was
of
named
37, it was in
the
Euro
blonde,
2016.
yeah, blonde Maradona.
At the age of 27, it was.
Maybe the third one
But
will
let's
give
go.
you
Let's go on. We'll come
your
back to the third
your
clue.
clue. We'll come back to it. But let's talk about Liverpool now. So Liverpool playing against Nottingham Forest at Anfield, and everyone thought because Liverpool had sort of before the international break and before losing to Manchester City by 3 goals to 0, they had beaten Real Madrid and also beaten Aston Villa. So maybe this will be the resurgence. But it looks like Aston Villa is the only win in 8 games or 7 games in the Premier League. Remember, they had lost 4 straight before Aston Villa, lost to Man City, and they've lost again. So in 7 games, they've won one, not drawn any, lost 7. This time against Nottingham Forest, one of the teams that beat them at Anfield last season.
Yeah. Liverpool lack energy. They lack sharpness. When I say sharpness, I mean they're not quick around the pitch.
Right.
And that is why I go back to say that some of the players they sold and some of the players they brought in, the profiles didn't replace themselves. Liverpool need to find a different way of playing to maximize. In fact, Liverpool need to start playing like City played a couple of years ago. Control the ball, keep the ball for long periods of time, pass your opponents around the pitch. Liverpool can play like they played last season. They can play like Klopp played because they don't have the players for it. What
Right.
Liverpool have got the players for is to keep a lot of possession so that your opponents can have enough of it to break you down because Liverpool lack physicality. They lack aggression, they lack the press, they lack the energy. That players like, may you so rest in peace, Jota, Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunes, even Harvey Elliott when he played brought to the fore. And Liverpool as well now need to play a lot of passes to get to the other end of the pitch because they don't have trainer like Arnold who can just ping one quick ball over the top or ping one diagonal ball over to the other side for the winger to pick it up. So Liverpool's team and the profile of players they've got, who are, by the way, very, very quality players, need to forgo everything they knew last season. They can't play like they
Mhm.
played last season because the elements are not the same. They need to redesign or redefine how they want to play with the players they've got on hand. And that for me is the only way Liverpool can get back to
But but
being
but
problem.
but
Yeah,
but
problem.
but to be fair though, and again, all due respect to Nottingham Forest, I look at the lineup here. They had Allison back, they had Soboslai, they had Konate, Van Dijk. Kerkez, McAllister, Gravenberg, Curtis Jones, Salah, Isaac, Gakpo. I mean, on paper, this team should be beating Nottingham Forest. To be fair, I mean,
Yeah,
what
they
could
should be.
possibly be going wrong? Which players should Liverpool fans be looking at and saying, you know what, you don't have the right to wear the shirt this season because you are letting us down? Even if
All,
they've done it before, like Gravenberg. I think
all
that
of
he's one
them.
of the players nobody's mentioning. But Gravenberg was really good last season. This season, he's been nowhere to be found.
No, all of them. All of Liverpool fans can look at all of them and say maybe by Alisson, Liverpool fans can look at all the players, including their captain Van Dijk, and say you don't deserve to wear the shirt. You've
But
been
actually,
rubbish.
I think Soboslai should be an exemption too.
Soboslai,
I think
Soboslai,
he's been,
Soboslai,
yeah, I think
Soboslai,
he's been
Soboslai.
the most consistent player the
Yeah,
entire
he
season.
has shown a great fight and everything.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it,
like I said,
yeah,
McAllister
yeah.
hasn't looked like he's fit. Gravenberg again looks like he's playing a team that has the midfield too widely open. And the midfield is only too widely open because, again, let me explain this a bit more tactically. The midfield is a bit too widely open because when the front line hasn't pressed well, the midfield have no choice than to engage. Because when your opponents are playing and they bypass your first press, they normally are passing the
Right,
ball into the midfield in behind the first press. So the midfield now has
right.
to engage their midfield. But if you had the press of Luis Diaz, Darwin Nunes, and everything, your opponents are likely going to not go by that press because they can't go by, or they'll pounce and win the ball. But now Liverpool's midfield is too widely open because the midfielders are they have to be too engaged in the press of the midfield because the press is not coming from the front. Isaac doesn't press well. Cody Gakpo is not the best press of the ball. Salah never presses. So straight away, Liverpool have got no defense when the opponents is building up from the back. And Liverpool again, because they've been baited into pressing high, when opponents go long, they are left naked. So Slot has to completely rip up what he were doing last season and redefine how this team can play with the play that he's got. And I think
Do you
that
think
is
it's
what
true though when people say? Do you think it's true when people say that he was playing Jean Klopp's team and his tactics last season, and he's been found out because he signed his own players and has been exposed as an average coach?
I
Is
don't
there any truth in that?
I don't I see why people say it, but I don't think so because I thought Arne Slot's system and style was slightly different from what Klopp did. They were not
Yeah.
as fierce and gen pressing like Jurgen Klopp's team. They had a bit
Right.
more
Right.
control about the game they played
So,
last season.
do you think? Well, I'm asking this
Yeah, yeah,
sitting on the fence.
yeah.
Do you think that it could also be that he actually, it was a slow movement away from Klopp's tactics, and maybe that shocked the rest of the Premier League. And when he was found out later in the season, he started losing games. I think he lost 4 games in the last 15, I think, in the
Yeah.
Premier League. And it looks like now it's been full circle. And now he's been found out totally. And so now he's finding it difficult to break out of a system that he tried introducing last season. But sort of Man City collapsing, Chelsea being Chelsea, Arsenal being Arsenal, nobody was contesting a team that started really well and faded, at some point in the season when his tactics was found out. And now it's like, oh, we all know what you can do. And the coaches are sort of like plotting and planning, how to defend and beat his tactics.
I can agree with that. Because based on last season, like I said, he was trying to slow Liverpool down a little bit. He was just trying to slow
Right.
them down a little bit to keep a lot more possession of the ball and be more control the game and bring a lot more of, so the players are not tired into the second half of the season. But as this
Right.
season starts off and it brings in players who are different from the players they used to have. And like I said, the profiles are completely different. So you wonder if they can play the same way they were playing last season, or he's completely changing totally how they play. I don't think he's completely changing how they played last season, but because of the players that he's brought in, or the players Liverpool have brought in, it has affected some of his more important players this season, and now it has touched their confidence. So when a player's confidence is touched, there's a lot more you have to do to bring that confidence right back up. And I think that's where Liverpool are at the moment. The team's confidence has sunk low, and they need to find a way of bringing it up. But no doubt about it, they've got quality players in that side to be playing far, far better than they've shown. And
Right.
also the fact that they didn't sign a player like McGay is coming back to haunt them because
But I
and Van
blame
Dijk is
them.
not ready.
I think they were too focused on the attacking
Too
players and
focused.
everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and left. And I think that transfer bid was disrespectful to not just Gehi but also Crystal
Crystal
Palace.
Palace.
When
Although, like,
you submit
whenever
a
we like,
bid
we
as
come and
late
take
as
him.
that.
Don't worry. Whenever we like, we come and take
Exactly.
him.
I mean, every
And
club has a plan, and you don't just come in and disrupt their plan with just a few hours to go, and they had no way to replace one of their key players. And it's not like you are buying a player like Richards or Lacroix. Or,
yeah,
you were
they're buying
buying
their captain.
Gehi,
Their
they are
captain.
buying their captain, their
Yeah,
main guy at the back.
yeah.
It's not that simple, and I think Liverpool should do better. The sporting directors over there, but the standings as it is, Arsenal are top after 12 games. They have 29 points. Chelsea have 23.6 points of Arsenal. Man City have 22 points, 7 points of Arsenal. Aston Villa are fourth with 21 points, 8 points of Arsenal. Crystal Palace have 20 points and are fifth, 9 points of Arsenal. If you're looking for Tottenham Hotspur, they've dropped all the way to ninth with 18 points. Manchester United have 18 points, but they have a game in hand against Everton, and that's at Old Trafford on Monday. That could shoot them to, at best, fourth or fifth, depending on goal difference over there. If not, then they will be in between 10th and 4th after tomorrow, depending on the result over there. Liverpool are 11th with 18 points as well. That is just about the weakest title defense I've seen in a very, very long time. Anyway, they haven't broken any records yet. So far, we haven't seen any outrageous title defense records. So when they start trickling in, when the results continue as they are, I'm pretty sure all the records from 1600s will start coming to the surface. Opta is going to give us all of that, and we'll bring it to you. Remember, you're still listening to FC Pitchside Podcast or watching us on YouTube. Please remember, the best thing you can do for us is the cheapest thing you can do and the freest thing you can do. Please just like and subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment about the topics we are discussing. We'll read it in the next episode. Thank you there. But before we go on, moving on from the Premier League and do some Spanish football for the next, 5 to 6 minutes, let me put in the third clue to Sicho. Sicho, are you ready for the third clue?
Yeah.
So this player is a
Colombian
rather
blood.
quiet personality, but he comes from a country known for volcanoes. Not quiet on the pitch.
Wait. Who?
You tell me. You tell me.
Iceland. Euro 2016. 37 years. Played in the Premier League, also La Liga. Chelsea's Edaku Johnson.
Absolutely.
The volcano took my mind to Iceland.
Listen, I screamed. I literally just screamed.
The volcano took my mind.
No.
The volcano took my mind to Iceland.
Sicho, you're brilliant.
I remember
Sicho,
that.
you are brilliant. Sicho, you are brilliant. Sicho, you are brilliant. You are brilliant. Expect a DHL package at your doorstep. The course of the week. You are brilliant. You're brilliant. So I was going to say that he wasn't quite on the pitch because he actually scored 109 goals for 2 clubs in the Premier League. Can you
I wouldn't have had all of that. Okay, he played
Can you name the 2 clubs?
He played for Chelsea. He played for, was it Bolton?
Yeah, Bolton. Absolutely.
Bolton Wanderers, yeah.
And the last clue was going to be that the notable clubs he played for are Chelsea, Bolton, and Barcelona. And I'm pretty sure at that point you would have known. But still, this is a really, really good shot.
The volcano did a trick. The volcano.
So
Iceland.
So this means that I prepared the quiz very well.
Solid.
I prepared the game very well.
I used a bit of geography. I used a bit of my geography.
No, you tried.
Icelandic.
Nah, you tried. Yeah. When you get some of these things, it really shocks me because sometimes I'm like, nah, today I'm winning, and then for some reason I give myself away. But yeah, that is brilliant. There, Sicho is always beating me to the game, and I like that. I set the quiz. I'm expecting that he doesn't win, so I wear the shirt, and he is always wearing the shirt. 3 consecutive times he's won it at a third clue. That is brilliant.
I need to do the first clue or second clue next week.
Plot this to you. Yeah, hopefully. Plot this to you. Anyway, let's now skip straight to the Spanish La Liga because over there Barcelona beat Athletic Club Bilbao, and they were really exciting back at the Camp Nou, and Lewandowski getting the first of their goals over there. What did you make of that game?
Yeah, I thought it was a very, very good performance by Barcelona. The fans were happy to return to the company. The players themselves were. And in my opinion, whichever team that was going to come to the company for the first time was going to come under some massive pressure because you don't want to lose that first game returning to the camp now Barcelona after the international break, some players feel fresher. They still got their own problems still. Because even in the game, we saw those issues still being there, where the opportunity to counter against Barcelona was there. But one thing they've shown us for sure is that they are clinical and devastating when they get into the final third. So yeah, the 3 points in the back for them, lots of goals that were scored. Important players as well got on the score sheet or the assist
Right.
sheet, and that would be very encouraging for Hansi Flick's Barcelona.
Absolutely. But what I don't know if you are monitoring Real Madrid, but I
Yeah,
think they drew
they
by
drew
they
two
drew
all.
two two
I saw that
against
game as well
Elche.
alongside it. Yeah,
Yeah, so 2-2 against Elche, and that should be a big disappointment for Xabi Alonso and his boys. Mbappe couldn't get on the score sheet. Vinicius Junior started on the bench, came into the game later, also couldn't get on the score sheet. It was Jude Bellingham who set up the first goal and scored
yeah,
the second, who was set up by Mbappe. And I think that was a good message to Thomas Tuchel and the England media who have been hating on him
yeah,
for a while now. But yeah, I mean, most importantly is that Real Madrid now, they've been caught up by Barcelona in the La Liga, and
yeah,
that
yeah.
that should be disastrous for them if they continue this kind of form. Because even before the international break, they lost to Liverpool in the Champions League, and they played goalless against Rayo Vallecano, and now they've drawn against Elche. They had a healthy lead; it's been cut off.
Yeah, I think Alonso has been disappointing really because I'm not sure what he was trying to do today. He went with the back three system. Asensio played, Dean Howson and Carreras played. They played Frank Garcia and Trent Alexander almost as wing backs. Ceballos, Jude Bellingham, and then Ada Gulan down in the middle of the park. Then we had Mbappe and Rodrigo at the front. It, it's just like he's put players in a system that it's not just fluid enough, right? And it didn't look
Right,
like the team looked like they were on the same page. You saw the individual brilliance of certain players like Jude Bellingham. Played really well. In fact, since his operation, I think he's been a really good player. I thought quite clearly he was injured last season. Quite clearly that shoulder thing that it had an issue on him. It puts one on him, but now he looks like after that surgery, he's playing very well. He was very good. Adegula was good
right.
as well. But as a collective, not so good and not so great. Alonso has to find a more consistent pattern and pick a team that he sticks with. I think Alonso is trying to to let everybody in the Real Madrid team feel like nobody has a starting place in the team. But I think at some point, all you have to do is to pick your team, stick with it, let
Right.
them build some kind of telepathy and chemistry, and then take it on from there.
And that's what Real Madrid do not have now, but hopefully they're able to pick it up in the coming months because it's going to be really crucial. If they do not, and the season could just catapult to nothing if they do not pick up points as quickly as possible. But one team that knows how to pick up points is Bayern Munich, and the way they did it against Freiburg was really stunning. They went down by 2 goals to 0, and I was like, oh no. But then again, immediately they conceded a second goal. Not long after they scored consolation, and that was when I knew this was not even going to be a draw because Bayern Munich at Allianz Arena, when they begin jumping on you, it can be a very terrible sport, and that's what happened to Freiburg. They scored 2 goals but conceded 6 in the end. My God,
Yeah,
6.
yeah. Credit to Vincent
Yeah.
Company. His machine is really working.
No,
Um,
I think he's really building a really really good team over
yeah,
there. Especially if you look at the summer, they weren't getting the players they wanted.
yeah,
They lost out. I think apart from Luis Diaz, they weren't getting anyone else. They wanted someone to fill in Jamal Musiala's position. They weren't getting anyone. Serge Gnabry has filled that position. Harry Kane has at times played number 10 role. They wanted Woodimada. Is it Wotimada?
Guatemala. Yeah,
Voltemada. He's not. Lord Voldemort. Well, He's not done the job, or he couldn't come, and they found a way to make it work at Bayern Munich. You can say anything you want to say about the German Bundesliga being an easy league and everything else for Bayern Munich, but you still have to play what's in front of you when they keep
yeah.
doing it. And they have done it in the Champions League against the reigning champions at their own backyard. So definitely, Vincent Company, big ups to you and what you're doing over there. But it looks like that's where we end today's show.
Yep.
It's been a good 45 minutes. It's
Loved
been
it. Brilliant.
we've touched on a number of things, including a quiz. But then again, I salute you, Sijo, about the weather shed game.
Whoo,
That quiz, and how you got that
whoo.
quiz right, I don't know, but
Volcano, volcano,
yeah.
volcano, volcano,
Yeah,
volcano.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, thank you very much for doing the viewing on
Cheers.
YouTube and, of course, doing the listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. My name is Theo Nyan, and I was doing the Sicho at Trim. Next week will come your way, bringing you even more.
Welcome to Footy Center podcast series. Welcome to Footy Center podcast series.